Hello, and welcome to I'm Too Busy. I'm Christina Flack, your host. I'm a celebrity makeup artist and CEO with a passion for all things beauty, wellness, and success. On this show, I'll take you on exciting journeys, sharing personal stories and insights from inspiring entrepreneurs. Together, we will explore manifestation, health, wellness, and the secrets to thriving in life and business. Let's jump in and get inspired. Hello, and welcome to I'm Too Busy. I'm Christina Flack. And today we are talking about something so many women struggle with in silence, gut health. From IBS and SIBO to constant bloating, fatigue, and frustration. My guest, Morgan Lewis, is the founder of 3 Pillars Wellness. She helps women heal for good through holistic nutrition, diagnostic testing, and lifestyle balance. Welcome, Morgan. How are you?
I'm so good. Thank you for having me. Very excited to chat and get into all things optimal health.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. So, what inspired you to start 3 Pillars Wellness, and how did your own health journey lead you to help women heal?
Yeah. This is so layered, but the shortest answer is that I went through the journey as a patient and I was just deeply disappointed at not only the care I was given, but also the empathy and understanding. There's a lot of things going on right now with our medical system, and I do think we need Western and Eastern medicine, right? When the time is right, we need both. And
I
the healthcare
totally agree.
field, right? They have a blend of both. But when you're dealing with chronic health issues, it's usually not one factor that is the root cause, right? It's usually multifactorial, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. And when you have a doctor that's just providing a diagnosis, it doesn't really give you much leeway to find other therapies that can help you. And so when I was going through my journey, suffering from mood issues, gut issues, bloating, fatigue, all of this cluster of just feeling horrible, I was constantly dismissed as labeling it as IBS, given a medication that really didn't do anything, or just simply said that it was my anxiety that was causing my issues, which as women, right, we're told that all the time, and it's so frustrating. So that journey really made me realize, all right, we could be doing better here. And until I saw a functional doctor who listened to me and ran different testing, I didn't realize there was a whole other spectrum of evidence-based treatment that you could go through that really worked with your body as a system. And that to me felt like the biggest aha moment, right? Like we categorize every body part, the gastro, the endo, the cardio doctor, but in reality, your body is communicating. It's one system. And so that's what I strive to do in my practice, really look at people as the whole picture.
Many of your clients struggle with IBS and SIBO. What's the difference, and why are they often misdiagnosed?
Yeah, that's a great question. So, IBS, irritable bowel syndrome, and SIBO, small intestinal bacteria overgrowth, they fall under a similar umbrella of gut dysfunction, but they're very different in nature. However, I do find that there are certain diagnoses that become trending. And SIBO right now is very trendy, right? If someone comes in, they have IBS, they're not getting better, the doctor will run a SIBO test. So IBS is kind of like the family, and then under the family is SIBO as one of
Mhm.
issues that can contribute to it. But really, what's interesting, and I don't think most people know this, is that IBS isn't really a diagnosis. It's a syndrome. It's a grouping of symptoms. So when someone gives you that
Interesting.
diagnosis, right, like that's not really telling you anything. Okay, I have bloating. I might have diarrhea, right? I have fatigue. Okay, that falls under the syndrome. But why are people not asking what's causing that under the syndrome? Like, is your gut out of whack where bacteria is mimicking IBS? Are you not eating enough diversity so you're not getting different strains of good gut bacteria to fight off these pathogens? Do you
Mhm.
have pathogens? Do you have a parasite, right? So that's kind of the realm of IBS, and SIBO really pertains to an overgrowth of a certain type of gas. So if people have gone through this and they're listening and they're like, oh, that's me, right? You do this
Mhm.
breath test, you breathe into a bag after drinking a sugar solution, and basically you're measuring if you're off gassing hydrogen, methane, or both. Each
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, it's kind of funky because the test also has a lot of false positives. So
Mm,
it's not the perfect assessment tool, but it's what we've got now. Each gas is a different symptom. So methane is typically, I believe, constipation, and hydrogen is more diarrhea. You could also have both
mhm.
and have different symptoms, but it is confusing as the patient, right? Because sometimes you hear that and you're like, okay, well, what do I do now? Right. And there's so much from a holistic perspective that can be an intervention that could really help.
Mhm. In simple terms, what does it really mean when we say gut health affects everything from skin to mood to hormones?
I like to think of the gut as two things. So, one, it's like the foundation of your house. You would never build up on a cracked foundation. It's
Mhm.
just not a great decision, right? You know that
No.
it's going to be an issue later. So, that really is the gut in your body. It is that foundation and it needs to be secure. The second piece is your gut is a garden. So if we think about it that way, we need good soil. We need a bunch of different plants. We want a different, we want different flowers, right? The most beautiful gardens have diversity. They have pollinators, they have butterflies, they have bees, they have things going on, right? We've got sunlight, we have water, we have really good upkeep of pulling the weeds. So that is really, if you think about your gut, that's what it is. It's a beautiful blend of a bunch of different microbes, some good, some bad, but we keep it in check naturally, right, by weeding. And we want to feed it really well with our fuel, which is the sun, water, and soil. And so that is how I think about it in terms of like our health, like to not only we have it, but to take care of it. And then also thinking about it like if it's the foundation and everything comes from your gut, then we better make sure it's feeling really good, or else we can expect a host of health issues down the road.
What are the top three warning signs that your digestion needs help?
Hmm. That's a great question. I think for everyone, it's a little different. The most common ones I see in clinical practice are definitely the cluster of bloating and post-digestive issues after a meal, or maybe just like waking up with bloat. That's a huge red flag, right? That's telling us you're not breaking down your food, you're probably not absorbing the nutrients, and there's definitely some deeper issue going on that's causing the pain or distension. The second is fatigue, brain fog, feeling malaise. Like that's a huge category, and you'd be very shocked at how much we can improve fatigue by just nutrition alone. This country, there's a lot of information out there on what food is healthy. The food pyramid is not so great. It's confusing. There's a lot of things that are FDA approved and whatnot, and we haven't really been given strict guidelines on like what amount of nutrients we need. It's a very broad spectrum. And so health means a lot of different things to a lot of different people. And so with that, it's very, very broad in terms of eating healthy. So really dialing it into having balanced meals, huge. And then the third is like any like seemingly random symptom. Like you could have headaches, you could have skin issues, you could have, the change of bowel movements, the loose, the constipated. You could have immune issues. So all of those things that like don't seem related, I guess, is how we can bucket them. That's another big red flag.
How do stress and mindset play a role in gut health recovery?
Huge. Stress is a root cause for some people, right? Sometimes a lot of people will feel really good their whole life. They have a huge stressful incident, and then all of a sudden they've got symptoms. And it's not random, it really is a trigger. So when you endure stress, what happens is your body has a hard time of getting back into that parasympathetic rest and digest mode. When we are in, just from an ancestral perspective, when we're in that sympathetic mode, that stress mode, the body is in fight or flight. It doesn't care about digesting, it doesn't care about having a regular bowel movement. All our primitive mind cares about is surviving. And that stress, right? I'm sure you are privy to this, right? You own a business, you've got email, we've all got credit card bills, right? We have things that are going on in our modern world. The body can't decipher what is a true stressor
Right.
versus a temporary one, right? So all the body cares about from that ancestral point of view is this causing harm? Should I be alarmed? Yes. Okay, let's go. Let's dump the cortisol. Let's get revved up. Let's get ready to fight or run or, you know, attack. And so that mode, we still have that wired in us. And when we think about that, day to day, just living in a modern world, there's so many little micro stressors that amount and they build and they cause a lot of damage on our gut health. And it's not realistic to tell someone to never have stress, right? I think in this day and age, it's not a good strategy. It's more like, is this,
No, because you really have to learn, even, we all have stresses in our life. And I think we as people have to figure out how to manage it, how keeping balance in our life and exercise and sleep, all the different things that we need to do to have balance to keep the stress level down
exactly,
and learn
exactly.
to manage it because it's never going to not be. And then
That's
also not like at some point you have to kind of be a Mel Robbins and let it happen,
what the,
and just let them, right?
yeah. And I think too, what you said is really, it's really important to focus on that, like building the resilience, because we think about, coping with mood issues and stress. We need a toolbox. We need to have strategies in our toolbox that we can lean on when we have more stress or just day-to-day stressors, being a mom, owning a business, all these things. And so that's when we talk about the movement, the boundaries, the breath work, the things that make you feel grounded and can activate some of that parasympathetic tone. Because the
Mhm.
more you work it, the more resilient you become. And there's something really, really interesting that we all have. It's called the vagus nerve, and it attaches from our brain to a bunch of different organs. It's actually quite interesting if you look it up, if you're listening to us. And it's nicknamed the wandering nerve. And the biggest thing that I think it does is it connects the brain to your gut. And this vagus
Mm.
nerve controls your stress response as one of its responsibilities. And they've done studies so you can activate your vagus nerve in a bunch of different ways. So, humming, gargling, cold exposure, yoga, and breath work, all these things activate your vagus nerve. And the people who have stronger vagal tone, so who exercise their vagus nerve, who have that strong tone, they actually can bounce back from a stressor quicker than the person who doesn't.
Oh, that's fascinating.
Right. So that could be a really nice takeaway too for someone who's like, I have so much stress, like, I don't even know where to start. Okay, let's just do 2 minutes of breath work a day and just sit and breathe into our stomach and expand that and make sure our shoulders are dropping, right? And like we can just zone out. And that little check-in actually does a lot of wonders down the road.
I think that's so important. I listen to the Daily Calm first thing in the morning and then Jay Shetty. And I think it's so important to remember to breathe. I don't think we as people realize the importance of breathing. In my other world, or I'm a makeup artist, I see people that are about to go in front of a camera and they're holding their breath and they don't even know they're doing it. And I think we don't realize we're doing it. So we actually have to learn how to breathe and kind of check ourselves. Like when we're having a moment, we're feeling stressed. Okay, let's just do some breath work for a minute. I mean, they're like, I call it self-soothing
Mm-hmm.
because we have to learn these things. It's not like it's just innate in us. You use diagnostic testing and holistic nutrition together. What kinds of tests give the most insight for IBS and SIBO?
Mm. Yeah, the stool test is huge. I run a few different options. One I've actually been playing around with now, it's so fascinating. It shows you everything about your microbiome. So, showing if you have that good gut bacteria, right? All the different plants. And it also can tell us a bunch of different other things about your detox capacity.
Mm.
It shows hydrogen, so relating to the SIBO, which is great. So, you don't need to do a breath test. It can also show methane. It can show how you're detoxing estrogen, which is really great. So, this is just another example of how hormones and the gut connection tie together. It's really profound. And I've had clients who've come to me and they've seen every provider under the sun and they've been sick for 10 years. And I've been able, from this testing, to get them better in 2 months.
What's that test called?
It's called Biome FX. It is definitely a test that you'd want to run under a practitioner because
Mhm.
the average person will have no idea what the results say.
Right, right, right.
Yeah, it's very clinical. So that is a great option. And that company actually has my favorite probiotic. So that company is called Microbiome Labs for anyone listening. Their probiotic Megaspore Biotic is such a game changer for anyone struggling with digestive issues, be it diarrhea, constipation, SIBO, IBS. It is profound. A lot of my clients feel incredible on it. I take it myself. I rotate on and off. And when I'm on it, I notice I feel much better. So that's another little.
Interesting. I love that. What does food freedom mean to you, and how can someone rebuild that after years of restrictive diets?
Mm, yeah, I've had my own journey with this, so layered. I think, I actually just spoke to a client about this, so I'll bring up what we are talking about because she was asking me about intuitive eating, right, which is a hot topic in this, post-eating disorder world. And she asked me point blank, she's like, "What do you think about intuitive eating?" And I had to pause for a second because there's so many great things about, right, the food freedom movement, the intuitive eating movement. But I think there's one thing that we've got wrong because in the US, especially if you're here in the US listening, we have so much processed food that we've normalized it. And I don't know if you have this experience, but I personally have. I eat very healthy. I eat a lot of real foods, like 80 to 90% of my diet is a real food. I cook it, I
I'm
make.
exactly the same.
Yeah. So when I am with friends or stuff, and now it's not as much, as prevalent because my whole identity is part of this business and people just
Right, right,
expect
right.
it. But they used to be like, "Oh, are you on a diet?" Or, why are you eating like a rabbit? And I'm like, wow, we've gotten so lost from the plot here. If we see someone eating healthy and we think it's because they're on a diet, right? And I think there's a problem with the food freedom intuitive eating world where it's like a little bit of everything is okay. I personally don't believe eating processed candy because you love sugar, eating some every day is okay. I think there's better brands you can buy that are real dark chocolate with coconut sugar
Right,
that actually are
right.
fine to eat every day. But like, let's take an Oreo or something processed in that category. I don't think that's healthy every day. And so the
No, it's not.
problem,
I mean, I don't know. Where do you, let me ask you this. Where do you live?
I'm in Chicago.
Okay. Because it's always interesting um, in different states, like
Yeah.
how people eat. Like in the South, there's a
Oh
lot
my
more
God.
fried food, a lot more processed. Like I live in California and
Yeah.
everyone eats like a weirdo, like I do.
Yes,
The
exactly.
green
I
juice
love
is
it.
normal and the salad, it's like, it's shocking to me to hear that anyone would think that that is okay and balanced and
Yep,
feel like they're going to look
exactly.
good.
Well, and even beyond the physical element, and I've lived in the South, I've lived in Austin, I also lived in the Bay Area where you are. Um,
Mhm.
it's totally observed it, right? Like in SF, I couldn't even order a Diet Coke if I wanted. Like they just don't have it accessibly. Versus in the Midwest, right?
Or
It's
they're going to
every
look at you and like, oh,
you
really?
drink it. Yeah, exactly. And with it, like my whole thing is we need to eat to balance blood sugar. I think ultimately that is the most important thing. And what that means is having a normal amount of carbohydrate intake balanced with protein, fats, or fiber. Because when you intake carbs, you break it down to glucose. You have to pump out insulin to then take the glucose and use it. We get into a lot of problems when our blood sugar is wonky, right? When it goes high, then
Mhm.
it dips low. What comes up must come down. And that is the area where a lot of people don't realize their anxiety, their irritability, their mood swings, them feeling off or brain fog, that is tied to blood sugar
For
90% of the
sure.
time. And
I
so when
agree.
we talk about food freedom, right, it's like, okay, great. But if you're advertising that you can eat everything in moderation and that person's eating an Oreo as a snack, well, they're going to feel like shit after. So is that helping them? I don't know. I don't think so. So,
I think food freedom means
layered.
different things to different people.
Yep. I know.
You
It's
know,
very layered and it's complex, right? Because food is so emotional. It's tied to culture, religion, celebration, grieving, emotions. It's not black and white. And so that's where we have to be a little flexible, but also, you know,
but real, like, come on, you really don't think that having an Oreo every day or some candy is going to have a good outcome. It's kind of
yeah.
like drinking. It doesn't make you pretty.
No, it
I
doesn't
see
make me feel
people
good.
that drink, I see people that drink a lot. And, in my other world, when I see people, I don't even need to ask them what they eat or drink. I can tell from their skin.
Their skin.
Oh yeah, in 5 seconds. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, you're a drinker, you smoke and you eat poorly. I can already tell. What are some of your favorite gut healing foods or rituals that anyone can start today?
Yeah. Well, I just want to add to your thing about the skin because people always ask me what I use. And I'm like, my food. Because when you eat well, your skin is not inflamed and it's
It's
shiny
true.
and it
It's
looks
so
good.
true.
Yeah,
I talk
yeah,
about that all the time, beauty from the inside out. And it's
exactly.
not about what skincare products or, the makeup. It is honestly what you eat, drink, and okay, don't even get me started on sleep.
Sleep.
People don't sleep enough, and it's so, so important. Um,
Hmm.
so
Yes.
what are some of your favorite foods, gut healing foods or
Yeah.
rituals?
So, like a 10 list of superfoods that I love. One, so I used to say chia seeds, but honestly, I'm updating that to basil seeds. So,
Oh,
they're a newer thing that's on the market, more readily available. They
uh-huh.
basically operate like a chia seed. They're the exact same thing. They look the same, they taste pretty much the same. They're gelatinous when you put water or milk in them, but the kicker is that basil seeds have 17 grams of fiber for 3 tablespoons.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And you're supposed to get around 25 to 35 grams per day. So if you're
How
eating
many do chia
that,
have?
I think it's around 6 to 8.
Oh, wow, it's
Way
significant.
less. It's way less.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
It's incredible. So you can find those. I mean, I found them on Amazon. I haven't really been able to find them in grocery stores, but it's such a superfood. It's got protein, it's got iron, it's got mag. It's
Oh, wow.
incredible. It's an incredible superfood.
I'm so
And
excited to
really,
hear about this.
yeah, really any seed, like a chia, flax, hemp, basil, whatever you can get your hands on, those are going to do wonders because they're very anti-inflammatory. We all need more fiber. Grass-fed beef, and particularly
Hmm.
you can get like a blend that's got like beef with liver. Sounds gross, doesn't really taste like anything. There's a brand called Force of Nature.
Hmm.
They mix grass-fed beef with liver and heart. So the whole thing is about eating organ meats and they put it in. It's like a ground beef. You can't even taste it. You can use it as normal in a chili and burgers, whatever you want to do. And it's
Mm.
packed with nutrients. It's like eating a multivitamin. It's an incredible.
Wow.
Mhm. Grass-fed butter, awesome. There was a whole time where everyone was fearing butter. Butter's amazing for you. It tastes awesome on a sweet potato. It's like my favorite thing ever.
I had that for breakfast today. I
The
had
best.
sweet potato and scrambled eggs.
Yeah, that's like what my breakfast looked like too. A little Japanese sweet potato, some good salt, some butter, some chicken sausage or eggs. Yeah, so good. Uh,
Beautiful.
Blueberries, awesome superfood.
Hmm. Hmm.
Pomegranates are so healthy for you because pomegranates actually boost a strain of bacteria called Akkermansia. And right now, Akkermansia is getting its like sexy spotlight because it has actually been shown that if you have good amounts of Akkermansia, it can help with GLP-1 natural production in the body. So weight loss.
Wow.
Yeah, so there's a lot of probiotic companies now that are just selling straight Akkermansia. I think it's a gimmick because the minute you stop taking it, your Akkermansia drops. So we want to support it naturally.
Hmm.
And with that, green tea. I mean, green tea is amazing, right? It's got a bunch of antioxidants. It's a sweet
Hmm.
caffeine, but it also helps boost Akkermansia. And that is like in any protocol I see, like green tea or like herbal teas are always like a good organic one in a paper bag. Obviously, don't look for plastic because it can leach some of those tea bags that have
Hmm.
plastic in it. And then let me think of one more. I mean, eggs, egg yolk and egg, like a good quality egg. You can't beat it. The choline
Totally.
and the yolk's so good for your brain, your cells, your skin. If you eat all those every week, I mean, you're in a good spot.
No, I completely agree. Can you tell me about your guidebooks and your upcoming course, Break Free from IBS, and how people can join the wait list?
Yes, those guidebooks have been a really fun project for me. So I put together 3 of them. I've got a meal plan recipe book. So it's 25 recipes, all gluten-free, dairy-free. You wouldn't know. You can use butter if you want to swap, but I did make it friendly for people who are avoiding
Hmm.
it. And then there's also a meal plan at the back of it. So you can take those recipes and then figure out how to use it for 2 weeks with leftovers and like incorporate it into your life to have easy meal planning. I think that's a huge thing people are always looking for. I've got a nutrition one, so a little bit deeper, honestly, of what we talked about today: blood sugar balancing, how to use food as medicine. And then an IBS guide that basically, if you've got any symptom, bloating, heartburn, constipation, diarrhea, there's actual protocols in this book with dosing instructions. So they're
Interesting.
all under like $30. I think I have them all bundled for 50. They're pretty affordable. If you want like a little intro to see what TPW is all about, that's a nice little taste. And then I do have a course, which I'm actually really excited because I'm turning it into live coaching. I feel like in this day and age, everyone's craving connection and also craving healing. So it's like the best of both worlds. And we will be launching that in February 2026. Limited spots, like 10 to 15 people max. I want to keep it intimate so we can all, get to know each other and heal together. But it will be a 6-week journey, live calls every week, some extra supplementary modules, really like healing from the inside out, which is what we're both about. So
I love that.
that was on my website at tpwellness.org.
Yeah, we'll have that in the show notes. Why is community and support so important for healing?
Mm. You can't heal in a vacuum. It doesn't work. Part of like living and leading a healthy life is having community. I think there's studies now that show loneliness is equivalent to smoking a pack of cigarettes a day. That's how detrimental it
Wow.
is. Pretty profound, right? And when you think of that, like we're creatures of community. We've always lived in tribes, units, like that is just
Hmm.
how we have evolved. And
Hmm.
just similar to, right, the primitive stress response, like our body craves that. And in this day and age, right, I think after COVID too, with just being siloed and home and everything moving digitally, like it's so great, right? Like we can have this podcast interview. You're in California, I'm in Chicago. Like that is beautiful. But at the end of the day, a Zoom doesn't replace an in-person connection or being
Absolutely.
supported by others and feeling seen and heard. Like that is the most beautiful thing of community.
What is one mindset shift that changes everything for women struggling with a chronic digestive issue?
Believing they can heal.
Mm.
Yeah.
The mind is so powerful, isn't it? It's remarkable.
It's so, so profound. And if you don't even believe that you can heal, there's no point of starting because you're just going to keep sabotaging yourself.
Right. Well, I mean, if you have a negative attitude, it's really not going to get you anywhere.
Yeah.
How do you define vitality and what does it feel like to truly be well?
Mm. Wow, this is so, so interesting because I'm sure everyone would have a different answer. I think for me, and I'm curious actually to hear what you think too. For me, it's being able to wake up, feel like energized, ready to take on the day without needing like a bunch of caffeinated drinks, and having energy to do the things I want to do and feel like alive. There's been so many times in my history where when I was dealing with my chronic issues, like I would wake up and be like, oh my God, how am I even going to get through this day right now? And that is just such a bad feeling. Um,
Hmm.
and I think it's again, it's the skin, it's your body, it's feeling at peace with who you are, it's feeling comfortable in your body, it's, being able to give to others because your cup is full because you feel good.
I agree with everything you say. I think good vitality is just having happiness and joy in your life.
Hmm.
But you do need to feel physically good to have those emotions. I think
Yeah.
they connect. I also feel, because we've been talking about beauty from the inside out and gut health, it affects how you look. I see it all the time with people that I can tell have, obviously I'm not asking like, oh, you have gut issues, but I know they do because I can just tell in their skin and their eyes, their hair. Like gut health affects so much of your body. And I'm so happy to finally that so many people are finally understanding the importance of gut health. You often talk about how emotions live in the gut. How can you explain how feelings like stress, anxiety, or even heartbreak can literally affect digestion?
I mean, right? Have you ever had butterflies or like the nerves and like all that stuff? That's an exact example. Um, trauma too, like I think this is a good example. It lives in the body, right? There's this book now that everyone's reading, The Body Keeps the Score. It's been around for a while. And we're finally understanding the extremes of that. And that's I think kind of just one example of the spectrum of emotion that can
Hmm.
happen. And with that, like your body remembers. And when you feel happy, right? I've heard from people who are on vacation, right? And they're so relaxed. They're eating things they don't normally eat at home, right? The dairy, the gluten. They're like, oh my God, my stomach was great. And then they get home and eat the same things. They're like, I'm a mess. Because our body knows when we're relaxed. And when we're relaxed, we can digest
So
better.
true. It's so true. It's so, it sounds so simple and basic,
I know.
and it should be. Why do you think so many women normalize pain and bloating instead of seeking help?
Yeah. I don't know why people do this. I'm a very proactive person. I think it's a few things. One, I think the medical system is not set up to adequately support women. Women
Hmm.
weren't even included in medical studies until the last, I think, 40 some years. We're confusing. We have hormonal changes. We go through different life things, right? Giving birth, going to perimenopause, menopause. There's a lot of different variables. And because of that, it's very hard to get a control study on women. And so therefore they just weren't studying us.
Hmm.
So I think that's the first thing, right? Just a lot of providers were not privy to how to support women. I think, I mean, there's even studies on this, like when women complain, it is mostly dismissed a lot of the time, sadly, as a mood issue, anxiety, depression. We're the subset that's on way more antidepressants, anti-anxiety, psychotic medication because they don't really know what to do with us. And really, a lot of it comes down to gut and hormones. And I think the last thing too is that mindset piece. Like, if you don't believe that things can change or you don't feel worthy of being healthy, then why are you going to go invest all this time if you don't even think it's going to work before you started? Right.
Right. Well, that attitude is just, I have zero tolerance and patience for it. Like, it's just like, if you're going to
Yeah.
have that attitude, then don't complain.
No, I
What
know.
are
I
some,
have I have people
right?
in my life that they know what I do for work and they'll have the audacity to complain about their stomach issues. And I'm just like,
And you're like,
really?
I can't. You're like,
I'm
you
like,
know
you
what's
won't see me
funny?
posting about this all week.
You know what's so funny? I tell you, my most difficult clients are like my friends and family.
Oh, for sure.
I have like celebrities that are like so grateful and easy, and I'm like, why is this person that's
Yeah,
my
yeah.
relative telling me how I should be doing this when they have no concept of anything? It's the same with
Amen.
you. It's
Amen.
hilarious.
Yeah, it's so funny. I had someone once tell me before I got into practice like 6 years ago. She's like, don't work with your family and don't work with your friends. I'm like, okay. And then I did. And I'm like, okay, noted.
Yeah, yeah, noted. And now I see why.
Yeah.
What are some habits that secretly wreak havoc on your gut health and things that we might think are healthy but actually aren't? I love this question.
Let's come back to that one because let's do habits first. And that one, I think
Okay.
there's a lot of fun things to talk about. So, habits, so interesting. And personally, I've been on this sleep journey recently because I found out I was not sleeping well. And so I do want to focus there because it really does affect your digestion, recovery, and we kind of mentioned
Mm,
earlier. So, one, so many people sleep with their phones next to their beds. Like that is the worst thing you can do. You have to put that in a separate room. If you need an alarm clock, get an analog, cheap, digital one that you can just set and forget. Um, we all live inside, right? We're inside a lot, and that's really bad for your health because it confuses your circadian rhythm. And so
hmm.
a
That's a big
really
one.
a huge one, and it's connected to everything: hormones, gut, weight loss. It's connected to every element. And so the biggest tip I could give is making sure you get outside within like 10 to 30 minutes of waking up, and don't wear sunglasses even if it's sunny out. Try to fight through that because that sun and that flux and the light is going to help wake your circadian rhythm up, tell your body it's time to go, tell your metabolism to turn on and start burning calories.
Oh, that's
And
interesting.
right. And then it's also going to help you fall asleep better at night because it will signal your melatonin production at night. But that's contingent on not being in like a brightly lit room at night, not being, or having arousal from a phone or stress or the news, all these things that we know are not necessarily helping us in the best way. So that's like
Right.
a big, big piece. Snoozing is really harmful in the morning because it kind of leaves you in that state of like kind of feels like you're like coming up from Dramamine, like you're just like a little like out of it and hazy. That's not a good habit, and I fell into that. No bueno. And I think the last thing, like food wise, is like takeout and ordering in. Um, we've normalized this so much. Like, to be healthy, you need to cook at home. I'm sorry. Like, you can
That's
hate the
it. I know
messengers.
there's no ifs, ands, or buts.
It's not confusing. If you want to lose weight, if you want to fix your gut, if you want to feel optimal, you have to cook at home more. When you go out, not even the calories or the fat or the sodium, you don't know what oils they're using. You don't know what they're cooking on. You don't know if their pans have scratch in it, leaching chemicals. You're getting the food in plastic containers. The plastic is leaching. It's just a whole slew of problems. And I hate to be like that fear monger, but I think it's not even 80-20. I do believe it's a 90-10. So I don't stress out about the 10%, but we really have to dial in the 90. And a lot of
Uh,
people think they're doing 80-20, but it's like a 60-40.
yeah. Oh, that's huge.
Yeah.
If someone listening feels hopeless or embarrassed about their digestion, what's the first place that
Hmm.
you'd have them start besides calling you?
Yeah, call me.
Yeah. No, for
Well,
real.
yeah, I
Well,
mean,
like
first,
what you,
what were you
do you
saying?
find that people are one of my best friends passed away. I'm actually looking at a picture of her right now. Um, Passed away from cancer
Hmm.
um, of the bowels. And she didn't go to the doctor and
Hmm.
just waited and waited and waited. I mean, this is a very smart, well-educated woman and
Yeah.
just ignored it for so long. And then it was too late. It was everywhere.
Yeah.
Do you
Yeah.
find that people just is it because it's the gut and it's poop? Like, do you think people
Yeah.
just don't want to, are they embarrassed
Yeah, I'm sure
or
that's some of
uncomfortable, or do
it.
they not want to know? Do you think it's like if they're like their heads in the sand and if they don't find out, then it's not happening?
Well, I think a few things. I think some people are probably proactive. They're not getting good advice. So then they feel frustrated and they're like, I don't know what to do. Screw it. The other people probably don't want to know. They know something's wrong, but they, choose to just live with it. But I
Hmm.
will say, and it's really important. It's so much better that if you're dealing with mild symptoms, it is so much easier and quicker to fix those rather than waiting and then becoming severe. I've seen it
Completely.
so many times. And the people who are like, I've had digestive issues since I was 14. Yeah, they might get frustrated with me because after 7 months they feel better, but they're not healed. What do you expect? You've been sick for 16 years. But the
Right.
person who is like, you know what, the past 2 years I haven't been feeling great, feeling a little tired, I have bloating sometimes, something's just not right. That is the best place to start a healing journey because you can fix that so freaking quickly, and it
Right.
provides so much reassurance and confidence, right, that you're doing the right thing. And just in general, like if you do have gut issues, I put so much free information on my social media pages. That's something I'm always really going to do, and really, it's really important to me. There's a lot of misinformation, and I really try not to use my platform as like an affiliate. It's more just an educational tool. So
Right.
that's a really
That's
nice place
wonderful.
for people. Yeah. And, it's like I wish I had that when I started.
No, it's very generous. I love that. What is one supplement you swear by?
The probiotic that I mentioned. Yeah.
Yeah.
The mega
And I
probiotic.
and what's it called again?
Mega spore biotic. So it's a probiotic made from spores. So they're living things, doesn't need refrigeration. And it's actually designed to survive if you think about a probiotic, taking a step back, that works at your colon. That's the last step of digestion. A lot of
Hmm.
probiotics in the market are not designed or packaged to survive that journey. They get killed
Oh,
by stomach acid. So you're just having expensive poop and pee with no benefit. So the spore-based genre of probiotics are actually designed that they do survive your stomach acidity, and they can actually make their way to the colon and then become that soil and water and sun for your microbiome, and also give some different plant strains in there, right? The gut is a garden. So that is my favorite probiotic, and favorite, honestly, product. It can help a lot. And the second thing that's probably in most people's kitchen that I always love to bring up is apple cider vinegar. That's a
hmm.
really great tool. A lot of people were just taking it straight, like shooting it back. I don't recommend that because it can,
No, it's really harsh on your
yeah,
throat,
and
and
it can burn your esophagus, which we do
it
not
it
want to, yeah,
well,
get
especially if
through
you're
that.
doing it too much. I mean, I do that in the morning first thing with water,
Mm,
or I'll do lemon or lime, and then I'll put a pinch of like this mineral salt and even a
Yes.
couple drops of olive oil.
Yeah, that is so good. I mean, everyone should listen to that. Take that advice. Christina's a health coach. Yeah, no, that's a really, really good tip. And even just the vinegar. So we talked about blood sugar a little bit before. There is a compound in vinegar. It's called phytic acid, I think. Sometimes I can't remember all these names. I believe it's that. And it helps with blood sugar regulation. So that's an easy hack. A bottle's $5. The other thing it does is because it's bitter and it's an acid, it helps stimulate your stomach acidity to rev up stomach acidity production from the parietal cells. And so when we intake that before we eat, the body is then turned on and getting ready to digest more effectively. And it can really help with bloating or distension, things like that.
I think another thing that it does, it cuts, and I tell people this all the time, I think it helps cut sugar cravings.
Well, yeah, it's balancing blood sugar. So that makes
Right.
complete sense. Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. What is one gut health myth that you wish would disappear forever?
Mm. I freaking hate greens powders, and I know you asked earlier and we kind of skipped over it, like what's one thing people are doing that they think is healthy, but it's not. These greens powders are driving me crazy. Like a lot of people, they're like, "Oh, I have gut issues. I'm gonna go take this probiotic from Walgreens, or whatever store they find it, and then they add in a greens powder." And drinking a greens powder is not a replacement for eating your vegetables. If you think of
No.
the first form of a veggie, like how much processing has to be done to take a broccoli head and make it a powder?
Yeah,
Dry, frozen,
it's so bad.
ground. It's so not, it's just crazy. It's just another marketing product, right? It's got really great advertising, but it's not doing anything. And the other kicker is that a lot of these powders have fillers. They have guar gum, xanthan gum, natural flavors, which are not regulated. We don't know what's in that. They have carrageenan, which is a really bad filler and actually directly impacts the amount of gut bacteria you have. So these are the things that's like we need to do research as a consumer. It's upsetting, but it's very, very important to not just jump for these quick fixes. They don't work.
Well, I think you just need to take time. Like every day, well, okay, it's like probably every 2 to 3 days, I make enough green juice and I put
Mhm.
it in mason jars. It's got broccoli, power greens, blueberry,
Mm.
celery, ginger. What else
Christina,
do
I think you need to change your career. You're
I
doing
know,
everything
right?
right.
Oh, and I put coconut water in there, organic
I mean,
coconut water, and I
seriously.
blend it. Oh, and I'll put some fresh mint, and I have it in these jars. And so, because it's in
So
the
good.
jars ready to go, if I'm going to a shoot or getting in the car, it's like I truly believe that people will eat well if they prepare. And it takes a little time. But if you just have that and some raw almonds, some hard boiled eggs, you're good.
Yeah, changes don't make changes.
And oh my God.
You
And
know?
okay, don't even get me started on dehydration. People
Yeah,
don't drink enough water.
yeah,
And that's another thing I tell people, get in the habit. Every time you get in the car,
yeah.
fill up a glass or a water bottle and drink it. If you do that every time you get in the car, don't even have to think about your water intake for the day.
Yeah, water's huge. The other thing too that I tell clients if they have a hard time getting in water, I tell them to leave a glass of water by their bedside so when they wake up, they can drink it right away and then boom, they've already had 6 to 10 ounces depending on the
Right.
that's 1/6 of the way. You're hydrating yourself right after you've, woken up, which is when you're most dehydrated. And at least there's
Absolutely.
some water in before coffee. So that's like a really nice thing too to do.
What is a favorite way to de-stress after a long day?
I like to take a shower. I feel like
Oh, interesting.
I really like to shower the day off. It feels like an energetic cleanse for me.
No,
Um,
it actually is because you see a lot of patients, and I have another friend in LA that's a makeup artist, and she told me years ago, I remember I was on a shoot and I had like 10 models, let's just say. And she's like, "Hey, don't forget to shower them off when you get home."
Yep.
because you've
Yep.
got everyone's energy. So that's actually a really good thing.
1000%. And I think too, that is a similarity between our jobs, right? Very different, but you're working with people and you're with them intimately in person, right? I'm with them intimately with their health. And so you start to hear things, they confide in you, right? It's almost like a little bit of a therapist and you absorb people's energy. So I completely agree. Like having that ritual, or sometimes I'll go to the sauna place that I'm a member, like something where I
Mm,
sweat or detox or clean, like that always feels really, really cathartic for me. Or a walk around the block, right? Fresh air, no phone, something like that.
yeah, that's all good stuff. Dream vacation spot to reset your body and mind.
Oh my God. Um, I love to travel, so this is so
Me
hard.
too.
I truly think Italy is my happy place because the food is so fresh that I never stress about what I'm eating, and it's just like so beautiful and everything tastes good. And like for me, I live to eat. Like food is my favorite thing in the world. I'm sorry, like I am.
I think you are my child. Did I birth you?
Right? So it's like if I can go somewhere where I'm like, okay, like I can eat this amazing pasta, I can walk all day, I can be on the Mediterranean with the sun and the salt water and just like feel very relaxed, like send me there every year. I'm a happy camper.
So my next question was going to be, where is your happy place?
There we go.
So there
But
you've answered that.
yeah, I think near water. What do you think?
Yes, oh my God, all about the water.
Yeah.
What do you do when your day isn't flowing?
Mm. I'm not a perfect person. I don't know. Like my husband provides as a really good outlet for me. So sometimes I really work through things as like soundboarding. So I'll have to talk about
Hmm.
something and then I'm able to like move on. Um, I try to create bookends because I work from home now and I used to, work in an office and commute. So I try to have some sense of that. Like at the end of the workday, like I need to like power everything down, close the computer, detach a little bit, get some air, do the ritual we kind of talked about earlier. And sometimes cooking, like cooking dinner can be a
Oh,
really nice way to
so relaxing.
some
What's
music.
your birthday? What's your birth sign?
I have an Aries.
Ah,
What are you?
I'm an Aquarius.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
You got the
Do you,
water.
yep. Do you have a favorite quote or motto?
Yeah, I love the reminder. If you want to be anxious, live in the past. Or no, if you want to be anxious, live in the future. If you want to be sad, live in the past. And if you want to be happy, live in the present.
Oh, that's a
And it's
great
fun.
one.
It's such a good reminder because it's so damn true.
The biggest lie the wellness industry tells women is,
Intermittent fasting.
mm,
Yeah. Most people in this modern world are stressed, and intermittent fasting, at long intervals is a stressor. And so I much prefer the 12 to 14-hour fast, right? Like
mhm,
12 hours from breakfast, from dinner to breakfast, or even 14 hours if you're, can do that with some water and not drink a bunch of caffeine. That's so much more beneficial than like pushing your body to do crazy intermittent fasting because that works better for men and menopausal women whose hormones aren't changing.
right. I also feel that you really need to listen to your body. And
Yes.
I don't think stressing it out like that is healthy. If your digestion feels off, check your blank first.
Um, Check your stomach acid. It's not a sexy topic, but it's very important. That's the concept of making enough stomach acid to break down your food. Most people think they have too much acid because they get heartburn or things like that, but that's actually a sign that you don't have enough.
Oh,
Um,
interesting.
because when you don't have enough acid, your body keeps churning the food, trying to make it acidic enough to then send it on. And when it's
Mm,
churning, it can start to come up as reflux. So that's like a huge, huge piece of the puzzle for majority of my clients. But don't do acid if you have heartburn. And honestly, I would work with a provider before you start.
yes, definitely.
Yeah.
What's your favorite workout?
Mm. I love weightlifting and I love Pilates.
Me too. I
Yeah,
like that.
it's the best.
How important is self-care to you? And what else do you do for self-care?
It's really important. It's really, really important, but I do think some of us are getting lost in it because we're sacrificing friends and going out and, meeting people because we want to have like the perfect bedtime and all these things. So I feel like a happy medium is really good. For me, I try to find little nuggets in the day. My morning routine of stretching and what I do is super important for me. Having a little quiet time during the week is super important. Listening to my podcast or my shows that I love, right? That fills my
Mhm.
cup. But also making plans and seeing people and getting out and getting dressed up. I think that's important too.
It is. You have to have and laughter is such a big deal. I don't
Mhm.
think people laugh enough or just decompress and have fun. Like turn on a TV show that makes you happy or, some music. I have when I'm in my office working, I always have some music in the background. I light a candle. I'm very visual. And so
Yeah,
I like there to be flowers. I like the bed to be made. I like because it just makes me feel that I can focus on what I need to focus on and not be all,
I'm the same. I'm the exact same. And I was actually talking to my husband yesterday. I'm like, we don't laugh enough. We need to laugh more. Like life is so serious. Like we need to just giggle because it's true. There was a stat I read somewhere like the average kid laughs like X amount per day versus adults, and it was staggering. I think the kids was like in the 30 to 40s and the adults was like a 10.
oh God,
I
that's terrible.
know, because life is
That's
so,
so,
there's so much going on, but you know what? We have to like remember what it's all about.
it's so true.
Mhm.
Morgan, what have I not asked you today that you'd like to share?
I feel like we had a really nice conversation, a lot of tips. What I would like to share is for anyone who's listening that is dealing with stomach issues, there are answers. If you feel like your symptom isn't normal, you're probably right because you know your body really well. So don't let anyone
And
tell
listen
you
to
that.
it.
Listen to that. And you got to get real with yourself. If you know that there's things you're doing that you're self-sabotaging, let's start to fix it. Let's reroute it. And then if you're still struggling, get help. It's the best money you'll ever spend.
Morgan, I can't thank you enough for sharing your knowledge, your heart, your healing mission with me today. To my listeners, if you've been listening with digestive issues, remember you can heal with a positive attitude. You deserve to feel good in your body. All of Morgan's links, her guidebooks, and her course, Break Free from IBS, are going to be in the show notes. I'm Christina Flack. I'm too busy. I'll see you next week. And thank you so much.